What's good guys, Mango here with another Watcher of Realms video, and today we have another arena video as always, and this time single target arena with Dracula, because you guys liked a lot last video with him, and I think it's time to showcase the other variation, this one. And let me go through the year first, while I talk about some stuff. Balderon, Infernal Roar, and yes, attack bonus. You guys can see how I gear him, while I talk about Discord. Remember guys that my Discord is live, you guys can ask me any question there, book a takeover, anything you need, and just hang around there. I usually try to answer all of you guys as soon as I can, and it's a pretty fun experience, so we can meet there and just talk in general. Now, going with the next champ, we have Wukong. Wukong, you could arguably build him full damage if your air list is strong enough. If you're lacking damage or maybe awakening some Balderon, what I would recommend is building him in Soulborn Arcana with some HP substats. However, we are not weak enough for that, and we're just gonna go ahead and build him full attack. So we have an auto going in the background. Let's just stop it right now. And there we go. Wukong, Soulborn Arcana, Cataclysm, both sets are pretty good for him. Just to showcase this time, let's build him with with Cataclysm. Both will actually work. In fact, I think Arcana might be slightly better on him because sometimes you want Wukong to just one-shot the wave, but we don't have it this time, so doesn't really matter too much. I don't have an exclusive for him, so let's go like this, and do a quad roll and quad roll. Then what else do we have? We have Dracula. Dracula, some people think that he actually doesn't scale with speed, but this is a huge mistake. If we go into his stats, let's unequip all his gear if the game decides to load, because you guys know how this game works. We can go here and check that his attack speed interval is 10 seconds, and some people believe that you actually cannot change this. However, this is wrong, and I will showcase that with something pretty simple. Attack speed main stat. Let's go into his stats once again, and now his attack speed interval has just gone down. Now, this is for the basic attacks, okay? But it's actually a pretty decent stat if you want to maximize his damage input, because even though his ultimate is like 5 hits per second or 15 hits per second, you also want him to deal damage while he's basic attacking. In fact, even more in Arena, because in Arena we really want to min-max the damage we can get during the big hits on the waves. So, Soulborn Arcana, once again Arcana, and here what I like to do is quad roll with a speed on the left side, and on the chest, instead of speed, I go with flat attack, just because even though he uses attack speed pretty well, we don't really need as much speed as with other units. So this is the team. Let's go. Wukong, Dracula, where he is. There we go. And this is the team. Now, in attack, it's pretty hard to compete against the earliest teams just because they are designed to work pretty well on defense. However, you can beat some lower BP Watcher teams, some, I wouldn't say high BP, but the average Chaos team with around 500 to 550 KBP, those teams are wonderful for this one. You just obliterate them with no issues at all. At round 2, we're just gonna go down and place Diao-chan. We place her at the top, and I like to keep her in healing mode, just so that on round 3 we can straight up ult with Balderon and one-shot the wave without having to worry about him dying against the first enemy. So we change Diao, and when this guy is getting closer, we pop Balderon. Now what you can do is do some basic attacks, then change Diao, and change her back to inspiration mode afterwards, but I don't actually do that. I don't think it is necessary because most of the time you have enough time to just place Wukong here, This time I was a bit slow, but we were able to do it anyways. So now we gotta wait until this guy can kill the wave. There we go. Now on round 4, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Balderon will just wipe this guy while Wukong stuns the second enemy. Now, you can get super unlucky, and if Wukong decides to never stun this first enemy, you might die, but that's like a once in a million chance, so it shouldn't really happen too much. Keep that in mind, that you might think that you are setting up your auto in a wrong way, but it's just that the way Wukong works is that you actually rely on those stuns a bit. Like, it's not game breaking. As I've said, it will happen maybe once every 20 autos, so you don't have to worry that much. Here we place Dracula on the back, pretty important, because otherwise he will die to the AoE damage units. So we have to keep him in the back to also keep him at low HP. That's why Airless has this weird placement, because we want to keep Dracula and Balderon at low HP. Here we're gonna pop Balderon straight away, pretty important. And then when the second guy just spawns, we can already pop Dracula, so he keeps losing HP, and there we go. Now, here you can actually ult with Wukong, okay? However, if I'm facing higher BPs, what I like to do is ult this first enemy with Wukong, so that Balderon has enough time to get back the ultimate, and then we can just loop around and kill this enemy, and then with Dracula, one-shot the last one. Keep in mind, my Dracula has a level 10 exclusive, so it's not the best, but as you guys can see, this is not an issue. We are 90 to 18%. There we go. Now we just gotta ult with Balderon once again, and here, since these rounds already last a bit more, you can ult with Dracula before. You guys can see that Dracula ult actually lasts quite a lot, so you don't really need him to ult too late, otherwise you will waste a lot of time of his ultimate. Now, once again, what I like to do on round 9 is ult with Dracula again, so he gets the ultimate and uses it at the end of round 9 once again. I know this sounds like it won't have time, but trust me, he will actually do. And then on the third enemy, I pop Balderon. I don't pop it before, just so that he can actually keep the ultimate until the last enemy spawn. And as you guys see, Dracula ultimate once again, and we wipe him. 90 to 0, pretty good. Now, who should actually use this team? Well, if you have the typical Watcher team with your auto beating other 600k teams, I don't think you need to update it to this team now. I in fact think that Chaos teams are better than the Watcher teams, and the one I'm using right now is the Cithra team, but a lot of you guys have skipped Cithra because she was in between Erlang, Shen and Valara. We had Valara, we had Erlang, and then we had Cithra, so not a lot of people pulled for her, and I actually think that if you're missing A5 Kigiri, A5 Wukong, or just, I would say, I don't know, maybe Earlys, Eloing, this team can actually work pretty well. Because the good thing is you can actually replace Earlys with Eloing, and you don't risk dying as much as with the Cithra team. Because on the Cithra team, and I can showcase that right now, if the enemy has higher BP, the issue is that Cithra will sometimes die, and if she does die, you just lose the fight automatically. And with Dracula, the good thing is that keeping him in the back and Wukong at the front, Wukong has really high HP. He has like 30k base HP, so it's super easy to make him survive. And you guys will see, maybe I am able to beat him, okay, I don't know, but the risk of Cithra dying here against lower BPs is just way too big for the reward you get. Now, I've been able to get rank 1 on a takeover with this exact same team I'm showcasing, but of course it has Cithra A5, and let me be clear, Cithra awakenings are huge, the most important one being the A1. A1 Cithra might increase her damage like a 20-30% just because he can get multi-hits on the ultimate one after another, so it's actually super good. But you guys will see that these rounds, the moment Balderon decides to not hit the passive, the 50% damage bump, you are cooked. You guys will see right now. And also, pretty fun thing, this guy is running a team with, there we go, Earlys died just because of the BP, and you are gone. This is a variation of the thing I also wanted to showcase. However, I don't think I should showcase first the team with Cithra, because in the end, this team uses one limited, which is Wukong, one free champ, which is Dracula, since we all had the chance to get him in case you had 90 summons, because I know getting 90 summons wasn't easy at all. And then we have Balderon, which, of course, if you're running a Chaos team, you will need. But I think it's a pretty fun team overall, and I don't know, I just wanted to showcase this team for you guys, since the last Dracula video had a lot of support, so here is one more video about it. If you guys want other team comps, other stuff, let me know in the comments below. I'm working for an AoE arena team without Valara, but it's pretty hard, so I'm trying to figure out what works best, but I will deliver, guys. Thanks once again for watching the video, thanks for staying until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.